Hey guys, it's Travis and Mary Sue again. Without Mary Sue, I'm at a local track. Gonna do some running, and Mary Sue does not like to run, so she said have fun and kissed me on my head and sent me out the door. So anyway, one of the things I love to do is go jogging. I ran in high school, ran a little bit in college, not professionally or anything or for a scholarship, but just to have fun. But one thing that I got out of the habit of, had kids, started picking up weight, had some knee injuries, had some back surgery, got out of it. Last year, after I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's and with EOE, I started on the keto diet, and I lost 60 pounds. And I got to thinking, okay, I'm going to give this a try again. And I got back into it. I loved it. I actually ran 2 5Ks last year. I didn't really run them fast, but I did run them. I think the first one I ran 38 minutes, and the second one I ran 32 minutes. So I got better. But one thing I noticed, I was hitting a plateau. I just couldn't go any faster, and I was just exhausted by the end of it. I mean, even more than I think I should after 6-7 months of running. And what I found is that if you have Hashimoto's, extreme exercise is really hard on your body. It's really not even advised. So I was actually hurting my body by doing that much exercise. See if it sounds familiar. Muscle fatigue and muscle pain, and just it takes you forever to recover. Well, all those things are part of Hashimoto's. So the more I was running, the more I was actually hurting myself. So I was looking around and doing some research on some other things, and I stumbled across the Primal Endurance book and Primal Blueprint. It's by a guy named Mark Sisson, and he references an exercise philosophy by Dr. Phil Maffetone. And it's basically something that let's just say less is more. You don't want to over exert yourself. By limiting how fast you go and how high your heart rate gets, you'll actually benefit in the long term on this. And he works with Olympic athletes and triathletes, and by going slower for longer distances and keeping their heart rates lower, they were actually able to do better once they got into competitions. So the formula is 180 minus your age. So I'm 50 years old. My maximum heart rate, according to the Maffetone Method, would be 130. Now there's some things to consider with that also. If you've had major surgery, if you have not done any exercise whatsoever for the last several years, you need to take 10 off of that. So your maximum heart rate in that case would be 120. If you have been doing some exercise, but you're susceptible to cold and flu or just getting over an illness, drop that back 5. So instead of 130 for me, it would be 125. Now on the flip side of that, if you're in great shape, if you're never sick, you've never had any injuries, you've been doing this for 2 or more years, add 5. So in that case, mine would be 135 beats per minute maximum. Again, the idea is to do longer at less strenuous pace. You ought to be able to carry on a conversation with someone at this pace. I don't run with anyone right now, so I guess I could talk to myself. Wouldn't be the first time. So the thing I'm going to do today is called a maximum aerobic test, and I'm going to run 4 or 8 laps here at the local high school track, and I'm going to time myself. And I have a Polar FT1 heart rate monitor. It's a chest strap. With the wristband that goes along with it. I have that set to start vibrating when I reach my maximum heart rate, which is 130. And once it starts vibrating, I need to slow down a little bit. I want to keep it below 130. Otherwise, I get into the anaerobic level, which again triggers the fight or flight thing. Your body doesn't know why you're running. It could be a bear behind you. It could be a bomb about to go off. It doesn't realize you're doing this for fun. So the stress and the adrenal kick in. Again, those things are bad for people with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, so I want to avoid those. So I'm going to continue doing that type of exercise for the next couple of months. You need to build your aerobic level for at least 8 weeks of doing this. So every time I exercise, it's going to be at the 130 maximum level. I'm just timing it today. And in a month, I'm going to time it again to see if I've gotten any faster. I ought to be able to go a little bit faster while keeping my heart rate at the 130 or less. That's still the idea. No matter what I do, the heart rate, my heart rate should never go above 130 when I'm exercising. I just ought to get in better shape and be able to go a little bit faster. So I will check back with you in a couple of minutes when I get done with this. One thing about the Polar FT1, it's recommended by a lot of people who do this. It costs like 60 bucks on Amazon. There's a lot more expensive ones, a lot fancier ones, but you really don't need all that for this. I mean, I've got a Fitbit that does everything else that I needed to do. It just doesn't give me alarms when I reach a certain heart rate level. So that's why I went out and got the Polar FT1. So anyway, I'll let you know how I do. Wish me luck. Okay, I've just finished the first mile, and I'll just tell you, I'm surprised at how slow I'm having to go. I started out thinking I could jog. Get this way so the sun's not in my face. Thought I could jog, and that didn't happen. I took about 20 steps, and my pulse shot above 130. So maxed out at 134, had to slow that down. Right now I'm at about 125. Took me about 15 minutes to walk 1 mile. So not horrible. Again, not what I expected. I expected to be going a little bit faster than this, but oh well. That's why we do the test, and we'll see what I do the second mile. Hanging in there. But you can see I'm already at the pace right now where it's pretty easy to talk. Out of shape. What can I say? Pulse is about 129 right now. Again, about 15 minutes for the first mile. I'll see you at the end of the second mile. Okay, so I just finished my my mat run, my maximum aerobic test, and finished it in 30 minutes 49 seconds. At the split, it was the first mile was 14:50 actually, so went a little bit slower the second mile than the first, which was to be expected. And as I said at the 1 mile break, quite a bit surprised about how slow I had to go on this, because honestly I could run a 5K just about as fast as I ran or walked 2 miles. And it was walking. It was a brisk walk. Maybe had to work a little bit harder because, if you can tell, it's a pretty windy day out here. Worked up a little bit of a sweat. It's about 75 degrees out here. I could definitely feel it in my legs. They were engaged, but they're not hurting. As you can tell, I just literally finished about 15 seconds ago, and I'm not out of breath at all. So actually a lot of fun to do. The hardest part was getting used to how to walk at this speed, because I'm ready to go faster, faster, faster. About a mile and a half into it, I was ready to hit my stride and just really take off. I wanted to go faster in the curves. The last lap, I kept finding myself speeding up a little bit, going above my maximum heart rate of 130. Again, about 2 or 3 times throughout the 8 laps that my heart rate actually got up to about 134. So I'd slow it back down, try to get it back down below the 130 threshold as fast as possible, so that my body would not go over to the anaerobic phase, the fight or flight phase, which would activate a totally different system, get the adrenals going, and I did not want to do that. So anyway, it was a good first effort. 30 minutes, 49 seconds, I think is what I said. So it's a good time. So I'll keep you posted in the future, and good luck if you decide to do something like this yourself. Oh, by the way, if you get a chance, hit like and subscribe. We would love to have you a part of our ongoing journeys as we talk about all things Hashimoto's and EOE and keto and primal. Thanks.